All right, so bam. All right, you know what? Sounds good, dumplings. Huh? But where's the data at, man? Where's the facts at, buddy? Facts? Come on, man. I got you. Okay, I got you, son. Brooklyn, son. I got you. Okay? You want facts, son? Facts, son. All right. So here's an example of one of my days in the game. All right, so this one, it was dust. This is level 3, as you can see. So bam, I'm using the level 3 chart. That's my dog, man. Dog trying to get in. All right. So on level 3, my initial payment is $65. So bam. Okay. So on that date, at that time, at that price point, I purchased 444 shares, 445 shares of this particular instrument. Fee total amount was $65.07, and my break-even point was 1461. Okay, following me, buddy? Okay, bam. So my beginning point was that 1461, right? So I'm looking at the last, this is tenths. This is thousandths. So I'm looking at the last 2 digits. All right, so I go to the chart, plug that 61 in. So I start right there, and my next purchase price is at the 50. So bam, and I'm gonna buy $45 worth. So bam, okay. So cool thing about this is I always set my first 3 cycles. Okay. I set all my numbers for the first 3 cycles. Probably take me about 45 seconds, 60 seconds to do it. But the great thing about that is so I could go about my business. Okay. So all these price points are going to be executed without my, having to hit the button or watch it. Okay. So now I could be in bag 1 and bag 2 working behind the scenes. Okay. That's how the game goes. All right. So 10 minutes later, bam, it goes off. Okay. 1450. All right. See the 50. I bought $45 worth. And look what just happened. My break-even point went from 1461 down to 1456. All right. Bam. Next move at the 25. I'm buying $55 worth. That order's already in. Bam, it goes through 1425. Bam, you see the 25, you see the 55. Bam, my break even point is getting even lower. Okay, all right. Bam, next one is at double zeros or even. How much I'm buying? 65. My same initial amount. Okay. All right. So I don't equalize my initial market order at the same price, but at a lower amount. So it's gonna balance. It's gonna eat up my break even point. Okay, scientifically. All right. So double zeros, I get to 65. That's my break even point. Okay, and now I'm on cycle 2. Once I hit double zeros, I go to the next cycle. All right. So this one at the 75 again, but this time I'm not buying 35. I'm buying 85. Okay, I'm buying more at a lower amount, designed to have an impact on my break-even point. So there it goes. Bam, 1375. Bam. Okay, there it goes. And my break-even point just keeps getting lower and lower on each transaction. Okay, I'm riding the wave. I don't know what the bottom is, but I've budgeted for it. Okay, so I'm prepared. All right, so it gets to the bottom. All right, 1250. That's the bottom. All right. Now, my first was only $65. Okay, now I'm 1,800 in. Okay, and I end up selling around 14. But my break-even point was 1286. Using this strategy, I lowered it by almost 2 cents. I end up making $175.71 dollars off this particular trade. Okay, now first thing I want you to keep in mind. Okay, remember my initial purchase price was 1461. I end up selling at 1412. I sold it below my initial purchase point just to show you that you could be at a profit, you know what I'm saying, at a lower break-even point, lower than what you started with. Okay. One strategy is an exit strategy is to hold on until you get to that initial purchase price and then sell. Okay, just do a lot of rebuys, which I'll kind of explain later on. But just for this point, I want to prove that. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to keep in mind, this was on level 3. Okay. I made that 175.71 on level 3. On level 10, following the same numbers, just using the level 10 numbers, the same price action, using the level 10 numbers, you would have made over 2 grand. Same price movement, just a different level. So as you can see, so your profit also depends on what level you start on. Okay. Now, I like to sell. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why I like to sell. Okay. Because at one point in time, I had a nice portfolio. I just say I bought Bitcoin when it was my first purchase price of Bitcoin was at 7 grand, and it got all the way up to 62, 65, something like that. So that kind of tells you the growth that my portfolio had. But I lost most of it because I didn't sell. You know what I'm saying? I had that gain, on a computer, but I didn't have it in real life. So I learned to sell because that mug dwindled down. When Bitcoin was 65, that stuff is 20 now. So you understand what I'm saying? So I just learned to just get my profits because I sold at 10:39, right? 2 minutes later, I'm right back in the game. Okay? I'm right back in the game doing the same thing. Okay? Doing the same thing, purchasing according to that particular level at those price, watching my break even point drop even more and making a cool profit. Okay? Making a cool profit. It was only $30, but guess what? Still a profit. But then guess what I do? Bam. 2 minutes later, I jump back in. I ain't learned my lesson. I'm right back in it, doing the same thing. This time on level 2, doing the same thing, made 110. Bam. Then again, look at this one. I ain't even wait 60 seconds. I'm back in it. Woo! I'm back in. I ain't wait 60 seconds. I'm back in the game. Okay. So level 4 this time, bam, and you just riding the wave. You know what I'm saying? So see, I can see I'm back in it, just riding the wave. Right now, this is what I call a rebuy. Okay. Now sometimes, it might not be moving enough for you, and you want some action. Okay, you could do a thing called a rebuy. So on this particular date, I bought it at 14 even. It was $65. Then I bought it again. Okay, a day later at the same price point, but it's a rebuy. So you have to time the original price point, the price, whatever the price is, purchase price times that by 0.5, and you get that amount. Okay, so I did another rebuy. Okay, same thing. That one was initial was 85 times that, so I bought it for that. And then I did it one more time at the 1350. Okay, so doing rebuys, strengthens your positions, but you never want to purchase above your break-even point. As long as your rebuy is below your break-even point, and you won't run out of money, it's a good decision to do a rebuy. Okay, all right. So bam, those are rebuys. So now you just wait for the big wave. So this particular day, it started at 15.21. It drops all the way down to about a little bit less than 10 cents. I started with 125. That's the amount I ended up with. My break-even point started at 15.21. Using the strategy, I lowered it by 4 cents. And the exit price was 17.41 and a nice pretty penny. Okay. Now this particular strategy is I waited for it to go above my initial purchase price was 15.21, and I just kind of sold it, at a point where I was satisfied with. Okay. Now here's the crazy part. I sold early. I sold at 17. It went all the way to 22. Okay. So if I could have timed it right, instead of making, roughly 5 grand, It could have been that same amount. For if I timed it right, it would have been about 75. Okay, but I know you don't see